Hey, it's Mr. Shrum, and I'm picking up where we left off last time. We talked about the integumentary system. That included your skin, your nails, and hair. And now we're going to talk about the immune system. And like we said before, the lymphatic system and immune system work together and share many cells, tissues, and organs. And the term immune system is specifically referring to the immune function of the different components found in the lymphatic system. The main function of the immune system is to protect the body from foreign invaders like harmful microbes, chemicals, and allergens. Did you know that pathogens can enter the body through an open wound? Next, the next slide has a video that explains how the immune system functions along with the circulatory and integumentary system to heal a cut and wound. Um, mm, mm. Skin is the first line of defense against infections. That is divided into the epidermis, dermis, and the hypodermis. The outer layer of skin is the epidermis. And the immune response is the process your body uses to fight infections. So here we see something piercing the skin. Platelets, blood cells that clot and form scabs around the area where your skin was pierced. Swelling at the site of a wound increases blood flow. The circulatory system works with the immune system to fight infections. Macrophage, that's a large white blood cell that swallows foreign bodies. So during inflammation, that happens. Macrophages devour dead tissue, so new tissue can grow. Fibroblasts produce collagen, proliferative extracellular matrix. The lattice work of proteins that hold cells together, that is happening simultaneously too. Scar tissue is made of collagen and remodeling starts to occur. Multiple systems in your body work together to prevent infections. So it's all part of one unit. So let's see the next question. One of the major complications of diabetes is delayed wound healing. People with diabetes also often experience neuropathy or numbness, loss of sensation on the extremities like your feet. And what medical complications can arise from slow wound healing and neuropathy of the feet? People suffering from diabetes may not be able to feel cuts and wounds on the feet. Combined with slow wound healing, they may not realize that they have a bad wound that needs treatment until it causes a very serious infection. Types of immunity. The immune system has two components: innate or non-specific immunity and adaptive or specific immunity. Innate immunity is considered the first line of defense in the body. As the name suggests, the response of innate immunity is not specific to the antigens. It is independent of the antigens and the response is quick, but it lasts for a short duration. Innate immunity has certain barriers that act against infections. And the four different barriers are anatomical, physiological, phagocytic, and then inflammatory. And those are listed here. Anatomic barrier examples: skin, mucous membranes; physiological, temperature, pH; phagocytic, cells that eat invaders; inflammatory barriers, redness, swelling, heat, and pain. Now, adaptive immunity is the second line of defense in the body. This type of immunity is specific to the antigen it encounters. Adaptive immunity involves four features: antigen specificity, immunological memory, diversity, and self or non-self recognition. Now let's study the different barriers of innate immunity. The anatomical barrier refers to the skin, mucous membranes, and chemical secretions. Sweat glands, saliva, and tears contain an enzyme called lysozyme that can degrade bacterial cell walls. The mucosal membranes have cilia that help flush out bacteria. The physiological barrier includes pH, temperature, and other factors that stop the growth of bacteria in the body. For example, a high temperature during a fever inhibits the growth of bacteria. Acidic pH in the stomach destroys many bacteria as well. The phagocytic barrier involves the phagocytic cells, such as macrophages and neutrophils. These cells search for foreign invaders in the body and destroys them. The inflammatory barrier involves inflammatory response. So for example, if an insect bites you, the area around the bite becomes red and swollen. This inflammatory reaction occurs because certain cells produce chemicals to fight the secretions made by the insect bite. Similarly, during an attack by a pathogen, the affected area swells, and phagocytic cells tend to destroy the pathogens. As compared to innate immunity, adaptive immunity involves the lymphocytes and the antibodies that the lymphocytes produce. These antibodies are specific for a variety of antigens. For example, if a bacterium attacks the body produces antibodies that are specific to the antigens in the bacterium. Adaptive immunity also remembers the antigen it encountered. So if there is a second attack by that same antigen, the immune system will respond by fighting it off. For example, chickenpox activates adaptive immunity, which then provides lifelong immunity against the disease. Vaccines also use adaptive immunity by introducing an antigen into a person's system. The body will produce antibodies against the actual pathogens that cause the disease. During their development, immune cells differentiate between self and non-self antigens so that they do not attack the normal cells of the body. But in the case of an organ transplant, the immune system will detect non-self antigens in the organ, and as a result, the immune system will likely attack the donor organ. Transplant patients need specialized medication to reduce this type of response. Cancer and the immune system. Normally, cells divide and differentiate to perform different functions. However, in the case of cancer, cells divide uncontrollably, mostly due to mutations in their genes. Cancer can occur in any tissue or organ. The immune system recognizes the abnormalities in the cells and usually eliminates them before they become too dangerous. Natural killer cells plays a role in the removal of cancerous cells. However, if the system fails to kill the cells proliferate, and spread cancer. So if the system can't kill the cells continue to multiply. Autoimmunity. The immune system actually maintains a delicate balance with its environment. A slight under or overreaction by the immune system can predispose the body to harm. If the system fails to recognize foreign antigens, the body may suffer from a broad range of diseases. If the system becomes hyperactive, it will destroy the harmful cells, but it may also destroy the useful cells. In some cases, the system fails to recognize the cells of the body and considers them harmful. The system mounts an attack on its own body's cells. So here's an infograph, a balanced immune system. Internal threat versus external threat. Internal threat, autoimmune disorders such as rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, inflammatory bowel disease, type 1 diabetes. The immune system is overactive to an internal threat. Now, an overactive immune system to an external threat, allergies like food sensitivities, uh, eczema, asthma, and sinusitis. These two are overactive, but one's internal, one's external. Then you have immune systems that are underactive towards an internal threat, malignancies, cancer, or to an external threat, bacterial, viral, and fungal infections. So you want to be here, a balanced immune system, not too overactive, not too underactive. Autoimmune diseases happen when the body attacks its own healthy tissues as if they were foreign entities. According to statistics, there are about 50 million people in the United States living with autoimmune diseases. Most of these diseases are degenerative, which means they tend to get worse over time. Let's investigate one autoimmune disease, rheumatoid arthritis. Now, I've had family members deal with rheumatoid arthritis throughout their life, and you may know people as well. Here we have a healthy joint. We notice the joint capsule, the bone, the cartilage, everything's working according to plan, right? However, if you have rheumatoid arthritis, there is a reduced joint space between these bones, the joints, and then the bone has eroded and there is actually some cartilage loss. In this lesson activity, we have two resources, and then they're going to ask some questions. Okay, so there's this article about rheumatoid arthritis in depth. Medical treatment for rheumatoid arthritis can delay or prevent joint damage. It doesn't just treat symptoms. The sooner treatment starts, the better. If you have rheumatoid arthritis, follow your healthcare provider's instructions on how to treat your condition. To get the best results, don't substitute other approaches for treatments prescribed or recommended by your healthcare provider. So, the amount of research on mind and body approaches is too small for conclusions to be reached about whether they can help relieve rheumatoid arthritis symptoms. Supplements containing omega-3 fatty acids, GLA, or the herb thunder godvine may help relieve rheumatoid arthritis symptoms. So this goes on to talk about what is rheumatoid arthritis, and we've discussed that. It causes pain, swelling, stiffness in the joints. It occurs when the immune system attacks the membrane lining the joints. Rheumatoid arthritis is more common in women than men and often begins in middle age, although it can also occur in younger people. Now I'll go back to the other resource, Autoimmune Diseases Stopped in Mice. So this looks at a strategy to rebalance out of control immune systems and in an attempt to stop autoimmune diseases altogether. So if you want to read through this article, I would go back to this lesson and click on it. But for now, we're going to look at the models. Part A, explain how rheumatoid arthritis causes the symptoms shown in the model. Would the same symptoms occur if the immune system were functioning properly? Model 1, we see a normal hand versus a hand affected by rheumatoid arthritis. Bone erosion, bone displacement, not a good time. Model 2, you have a healthy joint. It shows cartilage and the meniscus between the joints. Then we have the rheumatoid arthritis affected joint. It shows bone erosion, a swollen, inflamed synovial membrane, cartilage wearing away, and a reduced joint space. So part A, rheumatoid arthritis is an autoimmune disorder. The immune system attacks the tissues between joints, causing the joints to distort, as seen in model 1. The joints between bones have less cartilage, as shown in model 2. People who do not have the disease do not have these symptoms because their immune system does not treat healthy tissue as a threat. Why do you think this disease is degenerative? Because the immune system considers the healthy tissue to be a foreign invader, every time the body regenerates the tissue, it will attack again. Over time, there's greater tissue loss, which causes symptoms to worsen. Part C. So this refers to the Autoimmune Diseases Stopped in Mice article above, and it refers to medication that suppresses the immune system. Why does that increase the risk of certain cancer? Well, part of the immune system's job is to control abnormal cells the body develops. And if you suppress the immune system, abnormal cells can grow and multiply, causing cancerous growths. And going back to that article with the mice, a student reads the article and then claims that this research will revolutionize treatment for autoimmune disorders in just a few years. Do you think there's adequate information in the article to scientifically support this claim? Why or why not? Well, no. While the study was successful in mice, it's unknown whether it will be successful in humans. And if it is possible to replicate this treatment in humans, it's unknown how long that will actually take. Therefore, it's unlikely that you can claim this research will revolutionize the treatment of autoimmune disorders in just a few years. Part E, imagine you work in a lab and your goal is to use the research performed on mice to develop a similar treatment for humans. List 5 scientific questions you would ask to guide your research. And those are, what dosage of treatment is effective in people? How long will the treatment prevent an autoimmune disease response in people? Does the radiation have any long-term effects on humans? Are antibiotics in human subjects as effective as radiation in mice? Are there any long-term effects of this treatment in people? And that's it for the immune system. Next time I'll come back and we'll look at the endocrine system and finish up this lesson tutorial. But until next time, have a good one, guys and girls, and I will see you all later. Bye-bye.